What's going on with my layout? Hold on, guys. I do not want to do this whole video like this, but I don't know what's going on with the. Let's see. I haven't. Hold on. Let me go. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. We have so much to discuss, and it's not great. You guys know I was telling you about a specific juror. Yesterday, I referred to her as Detroit. Now I'm referring to her as Aunt Bertha. Aunt Bertha is going to be a problem for the prosecution. As Mark was delivering his remarks, a lot of it was fluff. There wasn't a lot that really, how do I want to put this? If the prosecution was all charts and graphs and text messages, Mark is a Baptist preacher giving a testimony. That's like the best I can do. This particular juror smiled, laughed when there were no jokes. I've never seen anything like this before in my life. It almost felt like she felt like Mark was talking directly to her. I will explain tonight why I'm calling her Aunt Bertha, but you like once you get it, you'll get it. I was shocked. Again, I am sitting in the courtroom. For y'all, it was even more difficult today to get in than yesterday. If you are I talked to somebody yesterday who's very close to me who says that sometimes when I'm going live now, it's not her wig. Sometimes when I'm going live now, it makes them anxious. I can't stand here and bullshit you guys. Do I think that Mark was effective? Not to me, because I'm a very literal person and I would want to know. I want you to argue the merits, not just give me roundabouts or non-specific examples, because that's what we've been getting. But I think for at least 2 to 3 of the jurors, it's working, especially Aunt Bertha. There was, y'all, Mark really argued that Cassie was not a victim. And in fact, she was empowered. He, what? Me and Tisa were having like heart palpitations. Like, what do you, she's not a victim. I'll give you one more specific example of why I'm telling you guys the prosecution might have an issue with Aunt Bertha. Mark made a flippant comment about Cassie being sexy and one of the most beautiful women. Aunt Bertha stopped smiling. In the same breath, he mentioned Michael B. Jordan and said Michael B. Jordan is he's like the sexiest man alive. She started smiling again. Then there was a comment made about how Cassie had told Capricorn, who am I supposed to date if, Jay-Z's now taken? Aunt Bertha started doing this. So we get back to that normal tug, like pull and tug of, is Cassie even a victim? Where are we? Where are we like right now? For the most part, when I go over this tonight, you'll see that a lot of the jurors, they're stone faced. A lot of them are just like Pearl, not Aunt Bertha. I don't know if Aunt Bertha, maybe she likes white men. Maybe Mark is her type. I have no idea. But sometimes he wasn't even cracking jokes. And she was smiling, laughing, and nodding. And technically, she can do it. But I just feel like it's in poor taste considering yesterday you were asleep. Did Mark raise some good points? Yes. He poked, well, I mean, that's his job to create reasonable doubt. He poked holes in Capricorn Clark's story, specifically about the gun. I don't think the holes were that great, but I was talking to another reporter from Canada, and he said he thought that that was very effective. And I'm like, but he said he had 5 reasons why he didn't have a gun, and he only listed 3. How effective is he if he's not even listing the amount that he told us he was going to list? Mark did use some slang. I'll have to get into that specifically with the notes. Are people engaged? Yes, less of them are sleeping, but that kind of comes with the territory. The prosecution was more about charts, graphs, specific laws, but my girl Comey is about to. My girl Comey goes after Mark, so we'll see. Comey doesn't seem to play. And then, guys, there was a whole showdown in the courtroom. I guess they had some type of agreement that they were not going to object while people were doing their closing statements. So as soon as the jury left, Comey stood up and she had 3 issues that she wanted to object to while he was talking, but just couldn't do it based on the agreement. The judge said, "Give me a minute," came back, agreed with Comey, and we'll get into all this tonight. Shapiro stood up. Now, let me tell you what Shapiro looks like. Shapiro's about this tall. She looks like she's stressed all the time. It sounds like she has beleaguered breathing when she's talking, but she's a pit bull. And she is going to give you case law. I don't think she felt like Mark was being forceful enough with the judge. And then all of a sudden you hear her tell the judge what the judge should do. And the judge corrected her and said, no, that's not the route we're taking because Mark was inappropriate. And he said he was inappropriate on things that we agreed to. Both defense and prosecution agreed to certain things and certain arguments that they would not use. And Mark said, F that, I'm going to do it anyway. At that point, I was hungry, but I was not about to move while they were arguing back and forth. And for Shapiro to get so forceful with the judge, that was, it was a lot. I can't tell you guys that I'm going to be in this actual physical courtroom on Monday. This was a whole lot. If I thought people wanted to fight me before, they definitely want to fight me now. It was a lot going on. No, the defense did not object during closing. They wanted to, but didn't because there was an agreement between the process. I'm sorry, no, defense. You mean prosecution? Do you mean prosecution? The prosecution wanted to object, but didn't because they had an agreement that they would not do it during closing arguments. So as soon as the jury left, she went in. Comey was like, "We're not doing this." Um, Mark was a little timid, and then Shapiro stood up and was like telling the judge how he should go about correcting it and what he should do. And the judge was like, "I'm not doing what you're telling me to do. You guys were inappropriate. I'm going to do exactly what I want to do." She felt like if the objection gets corrected before Mark finishes his closing, then it's going to look a certain way to the jurors. Basically, the judge said, I don't give a damn what it looks like to the jurors because you broke the rules. They are not playing fair, which typically comes from Brian Steele, but this was a lot. Mark, I told you guys, charm and disarm. That's his strategy, and it's working. He's been basically charming the panties off of Aunt Bertha. Now, Mark is married, so that might be the one issue, but I could see Aunt Bertha. Anyway, guys, I really do have to go. Hold on. I really do have to go. Okay, so you said after this I'll have to go. You said who's winning the case. That's hard to determine because even like when we were getting our stuff, Armand said that he felt like he would never pay an attorney who's going to just throw fluff out there like Mark. However, other people felt like if Mark had some valid points or, One woman acknowledged she's male identified. She agrees. We're going to get into all of the nuances tonight when I go live, but I just wanted to give you guys a little taste that this tonight's going to be a doozy because they're throwing bows. We're going to Comey and Mark is I was about to say Floyd, but we're not doing that. We're going to go back to Mike Tyson and it's going to be an iron bout basically. All right, go. I think AT2 gifted 5 memberships. Yo, this is my only lunch. I got to run. See y'all tonight.